And welcome back, folks, just after the opening tip here in Granville. And Jordan Holmes takes it right inside for her first basket of the night. They're going to look to feed her quite often. Down the floor for DePauw is number 34. As Erica Holmes brings it back down the floor, she's going to swing it over on the right to Emily Crumpy, and we've got a foul here on the floor early, with 9:24 remaining in the first. And that foul is going to be against DePauw's number 42, Abby Keller, her first on the senior. Swings it back to Erica Holmes on the right elbow, bounce pass to Jordan Holmes with the bump, and finishes inside for her second basket of the game. Jordan Holmes has 4 early points. DePauw looking to counter quickly as Emily Buddy fires from the left wing, can't hit. He's got a collision, and we got a foul going against the Tigers. And that foul is once again going on Abby Keller, so 2 quick fouls is going to put her on the bench very quickly here in this first quarter. 4-2 score with 9:05 remaining. As Holmes swings over to Linquist on the right side. Linquist back to Kellyard at the top of the key. Emily Crumpy fires, misfires, and we got a foul on the floor going against Erica Holmes on the loose ball, and it's going to go back over to DePauw. Both teams very aggressive thus far on offense. As the bounce pass into the lane kicks away, but it's recovered by DePauw's number 11, Jenna Stoner. She misfires on the jumper. Pass ahead as Arter corrals it. Finds Emily Crumpy. Decides against the shot. Arter not shy at all from three-point range. Misses from the right wing. Linquist grabs the rebound, and Denison has a fresh 30-second shot clock as Erica Holmes looks to set up another play. Holmes on the right wing, looking for the entry pass, decides to swing it cross court back to Linquist. Dumps it down to Crumpy, shot fake, and it's good off the glass. Denison working the glass early inside, and they've got a 6-2 lead. And back the other way, number 34 for the Tigers. That's Taylor Howard. She misfires from the right elbow. And Holmes brings it back up once again. Denison looking to jump on the Tigers very early in this one. Arter, right wing, looking for a pass, swings another cross-court pass to Linquist. Crumpy from the left elbow. Fakes the shot, thinks otherwise, pivots. Arter drives right, goes baseline, right-hand shot, tough shot, couldn't finish. Linquist with the rebound down to the floor, and this is going to be a hell ball called. Nick, what do you like thus far from the Big Red offense?
So far, they're really moving the ball. They're moving it fast, and at least 3 players are touching the ball. Seems like every possession, which is great. Keep the DePauw Tigers on their toes and try to get the inside shots.
And for the Big Red, number 11, Gabrielle Nottage. Number 3, Valesha Province. Number 20, Gabby Maringer. And number 14, Akila Fletcher entered the ball game. So near line change for the Big Red, except for the anchor of the team, Jordan Holmes, as she stays in the middle. And the bounce pass down into the lane gets away from number 23 for DePauw. That's Claire Ryan, as the Tigers commit another turnover. The Big Red are looking to jump on the Tigers even more in the first quarter and take advantage of, let's not say weak interior defense, but maybe strong interior offense for the Big Red. And they'll go right back to it as Jordan Holmes spins over her right shoulder. Couldn't hit. Rebound falls to Melinda Frankie, excuse me. And that's another blocked shot from Jordan Holmes, and it goes off the body of Claire Ryan, and that's going to be another DePauw turnover. Holmes really opposing her will on the defensive glass. As the new point guard for the Big Red, Nottage, brings it up, sends it over on the right wing to Maringer. drives left, middle of the lane, double teamed, kicks it back out to Nottage. Another dump down to Jordan Holmes. Fakes with the left, goes to the right, missed again. Good defense by number 35, Frankie. And the three is good for Valesha Province. She's been a great freshman spark off the bench, playing quality minutes, not afraid to take any shot on the floor, and she showed us that just then. As the Big Red now lead 9-2 early. Shot from the free throw line, no good by Frankie. Maringer's looking to push, kicks it back out to Nottage. Fletcher fakes the shot, drives to the elbow, goes up for a tough shot and hits off the glass. Akila Fletcher is one of many Big Red players to come out hot, and DePauw automatically needs a timeout. Big Red in an 11-2 lead, and they are showing no signs of hesitance on the glass, including a three by Valesha Province, and DePauw needs to talk it over. What's going wrong for the Tigers thus far?
Right now, it just looks like they can't really get anything going on offense. And defensively, Denison's just all over the court and up and down. They're getting help from everywhere, between the freshmen from Felicia all the way to our favorite junior, Jordan Holmes. It's all over the place, and they really just don't have an answer right now.
It's easy to think that with the inside presence of Jordan Holmes, that teams aren't going to want to go inside very often. However, as good of a free throw shooting team as DePauw is, you would think they'd try to get to the line more, and we'll see if they can try to mix it up coming out of this timeout. Ball's going to be taken out by Frankie for the Tigers. And Claire Ryan, the junior point guard, is going to bring it up as she swings it over. Ball at the top of the key to Frankie. Frankie pivots, looking for a pass, back to Ryan. Big Red really playing aggressive defense, moving their feet well, as Ryan nearly fell down and traveled. Recovered by the Tigers. Shot wouldn't go for number 34, Taylor Howard, but she's fouled. She'll go to the line for two shots. As she hits the first shot. If DePauw is not going to be able to get it going on as far as field goals are concerned, they're going to need to get to the line, and that's a great option to get shooters going. As Howard misses the second, rebound Jordan Holmes. Maringer swing back with the ball at the top of the key, kicks to Akila Fletcher at the elbow. Back to Maringer. She's going to feed back to Fletcher. Fletcher's going to drive and pull up just short of the foul line. Can't hit the shot. Rebound for number 34, Howard, for the Tigers. Stop and pop by Emily Buddy, can't hit. Maringer down with another rebound. DePauw is just ice cold from the field thus far, with just 3 total points and only 1 field goal. Fletcher thought about it, but then dribbles and pops again from the foul line. Can't hit that shot either. Buddy with another board. Ryan's looking to push. Kicks it left wing to Emily Buddy. And that's going to be an offensive foul. It was a strong drive by Buddy, but she came in and pushed off just a little bit. Great job by Gabby Maringer to absorb the contact and get the offensive foul. As Emily Crumpy, Kelly Arter, Taylor Lindquist, and Erica Holmes will all recheck in for the Big Red. And this just alludes to how the Big Red has so many players that can play quality minutes that they can afford to do line changes. Not only does it give many people on the team minutes, it also keeps them fresh, and that's why they've had such strong fourth quarters, especially on this 8-game winning streak. As Kelly Arter drives baseline, pass was intercepted by number 35, Frankie, as the Big Red turned it over. Buddy looking to drive baseline right, and that's going to go off the foot of Jordan Holmes, and the Tigers will retain possession with just under 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Big Red holding an 8-point lead at an 11-3 score. Pass was deflected, and it's going to stay with the Tigers. Nice defense by Taylor Lindquist, completely face guarding Emily Buddy, great scorer for DePauw. And really trying to deny her the ball out of the out-of-bounds play, and they're going to run another one here. Taking it out is number 20, Morgan Skordas. His buddy gets the pass at the top of the key, fakes from the right elbow. Frankie pops from the foul line, can't hit that either. Holmes down with the rebound, and the Big Red are looking to push in transition. Arter, top of the key, right wing to Holmes. He's going to try to dump it down to Emily Crumpy. Pivots, fires from the right elbow, can't hit. Offensive rebound, Jordan Holmes, but she lost it. Taken away by number 20, Skordas. Back over to the Tigers. Shot no good for Taylor Howard, but the foul was committed by Kelly Arter, so she'll go to the line for 2 more shots. As Howard misses her second consecutive free throw. Checking in for the Tigers is number 21, Maya Howard. And she checks in for number 32, Buddy, as she'll take a seat. As Howard gets ready for the second free throw. Knocks it down. Checking in for the Big Red for the first time is number 22, Naya Gonzalez, and she'll check in for Kelly Arter. Coming into the game as well for the Tigers is number 11, Jenna Stoner. Lindquist back to Holmes. The Big Red trying to work a weave on the perimeter as Lindquist drives. She kicks to Crumpy on the shot fake. And too many steps. She picked up her pivot foot, and it's going to go back over to the Tigers. Nick, are we seeing better defense from the Tigers, or do the Big Red just need to settle down a little bit?
I think we're seeing a little bit better defense, but at the same time, I think the Big Red is trying to get a little bit too much going at one time and just need to slow down and stick with their original game plan.
As the trap... As the trap worked for the Big Red, Lindquist recovered the ball on the floor, and Coach Sarah Lee called the immediate timeout to keep the possession. Again, folks, we were just under 3 minutes ago here in the first quarter. 11-4 score for the Big Red. It seemed like the Big Red were coming out hot on offense, but it's really been a struggle for the past 3 or 4 minutes for both teams. Again, DePauw with just 1 field goal thus far in the night, and Jordan Holmes, after her first 2 baskets, hasn't been able to get much going. She's been defended very well by Melinda Frankie for the Tigers.
And I think the Big Red are going to be fine. I think they just need to calm down a little bit. I think they got out a little excited and just need to let the nerves settle, and they'll be fine coming out after this timeout.
It's easy to let those nerves get up, especially in a big game like this. However, at the end of it all, the Big Reds still have a 7-point lead in the ball. As Gonzalez, top of the key, dumps it down to Crumpy. Back to the top of the key, and Erica Holmes. Lindquist on the right wing, trying to get it inside. Pass is deflected, but Holmes steals it right back, and it's taken away from her. And there's going to be a foul on the floor on Holmes. She was battling for the loose ball. And that's going to be foul number 2 on Erica Holmes. Checking back in for the Big Red are number 3, Valesha Province, and number 11, Gabby Nottage. As DePauw comes down looking for their second field goal. And it's pretty safe to say the Big Red aren't going to stay cold for long. So DePauw wants to get something going on offense as early as possible. Coming out of the first quarter, maybe get something going, get some confidence. But the Big Red are playing tight on the ball, and the Tigers have not been able to swing it into the lane. As Frankie takes another shot from the foul line. She has had trouble with that shot, but continues to take them. Strong move with the right hand, won't go. Frankie on the rebound, kicks it back out to Maya Howard. She's pushed into the corner, drives baseline left, and we got a blocking foul on Naya Gonzalez. And set to check back in for the Big Red is number 14, Akila Fletcher, and number 20, Gabby Maringer. So even though it's the first quarter, Coach Sarah Lee is trying to keep her players fresh. She's going to keep pushing them in and out as the ref denies the substitution until that first foul shot's completed. But like we said, with the exception of Jordan Holmes, who averages 38 minutes a game, she basically plays every minute of every game. The Big Red are going to try to stay balanced. as the shot won't go down for Maya Howard at the line. And Fletcher and Manager now check back in for Denison. Second shot's up in the air. That one falls for Howard. That's her first point of the night. 6-point Big Red lead. With about a minute and a half to go in the opening quarter. As Province kicks it back over to Nottage. Down low to Jordan Holmes. Unselfish pass out to Maringer. She's trapped. She's going to get it back to Valesha Province. Misfires on the three, but Jordan Holmes with yet another rebound. Maringer back to the top of the key. Melinda Frankie doing a great job denying Jordan Holmes the ball, and that's going to be a 3-second call against the Big Reds. The ball goes back over to DePauw with a minute to go in the opening quarter. And if you told DePauw that they would have 6 points at this point in the first quarter, they wouldn't be feeling too good about it, but it's just 11-6. This is still anyone's game. Neither team has found a rhythm on offense, and DePauw is looking to do it as they still have just one field goal on the night. As the shot by Emily Buddy won't fall, Jordan Holmes swings it up to Province on the run. Shot off the glass won't fall in transition, and the rebound comes down to Morgan Scortis, and the Tigers looking to push. And finally, the second field goal goes down as Emily Buddy nails the jumper. And just like that, it's a 4-point game. As this has been slightly sloppy, slowly played first quarter. Both teams probably got a little bit of nerves in them. But the Big Red are looking to take the last shot in the first quarter and end the possession strong going in the second. As Nottage drives down the lane. Nice bounce pass to Akila Fletcher. The right-handed layup is good. Great job by Nottage collapsing the defense in the lane, attracting 3 DePauw Tigers. As the last shot nearly falls for Maya Howard. But at the end of it all, it's a 13-7 Denison lead. So a slow quarter for both teams on offense. But at the end of it all, like we said, it's just a 6-point Denison lead. We'll be right back with the start of the second quarter. You're listening to the Denison Sports Network. Fans, welcome back to Livingston Gymnasium for the start of the second quarter. As the Big Red hang on to a 13-7 lead. The stat from the first quarter, DePauw was 2 of 13 from the floor. That's good for 15.4%. However, the Big Red were also just 6 of 16, so both teams need to find a rhythm coming in the second quarter. And the Big Red don't do it there as the ball is nearly stolen away by DePauw's Emily Buddy. The Big Red are going to retain possession with 25 on the shot clock. And this time they'll go with the safer pass out to Kelly Arter. On the floor for the Big Red is Holmes, Nottage, Arter, Lindquist, and Crumpy. So a little bit of a mix of starters and subs start the second, but nonetheless very productive players respectively. As Holmes kicks it out to Province, can't hit the three. Nottage wrestles the rebound away from Frankie, but she can't hit the shot, and then she commits a foul trying to do it a second time as number 21 for DePauw, Maya Howard, corralled it.
And that's not bad offense by the Big Red. It's just that the Denison defense, or the DePauw defense has figured out what they're doing. I think they've played a lot better interior D, and they're starting to lock them down and starting to fluster Denison a little bit.
And this is really one of the few times all year we've seen just a total denial of the ball in the hands of Jordan Holmes. Because, as I'm sure Melinda Frankie and all the DePauw players and coaching staff know, if Jordan Holmes gets the ball in her hands, she can score at any time, no matter what the defense. If it's a zone, a man-to-man, if there's a double team thrown at her even sometimes. So that they're doing a great job on that. The Big Red seem to be running good plays. It's just the shots aren't really falling. But I'm sure Sarah Lee is feeling happy about her team's effort on offense thus far. As Howard drives down the lane, tough shot with the right hand won't fall, and Jordan Holmes grabs another rebound. As Lindquist is looking to push. Bounce pass down to Crumpy. Pulls up off the glass is good. Those are her third and fourth points of the night. And the Big Red extend their lead to 8. As Howard down the lane, drive was cut off. She'll kick it back out to Frankie, who turns up on the foul line jumper. She's been trying that about 3 or 4 times tonight. It hasn't worked, but she'll take it this time. Once again, can't get it to fall. Ball's tapped around out of bounds, and it's going to go over to the Big Red as Kelly Arter was blocking out on Colleen Connors, who's checked into the game for DePauw.
And you can see DePauw may be even nervous trying to get inside the paint with Jordan Holmes standing in there. A lot of shots are coming from right outside the paint near the free throw line, and they haven't really attacked the interior that much.
Well, I'll tell you what, if this was a defensive drill in practice, the coach would be really happy. The problem is neither team's really breaking through. The Big Red have somewhat, but 15 points I'm sure they're not too satisfied with, because they're going to look to add to it. As Holmes is trying really hard to get herself open, but Frankie is denying the ball. And also the DePauw guards are doing a great job of denying passes. As another deflection on the pass attempted into Holmes. Down the lane, and too many steps for Emily Buddy. Good drive, but picked up both feet off the ground, and that's going to be called every single time in college basketball. Probably caused by the fact that 2 Big Red defenders were bearing down on her. And another turnover for the Tigers. As Arter on the right wing. Over to Lindquist, bounce pass to Crumpy. Lindquist at the foul line, pulls up from beyond the left elbow, and it rattles in for her. Those are her first 2 points of the night. As Nia Gonzalez and Gabby Maringer are looking to check back in at the next dead ball for the Big Red. Frankie, bounce pass to number 24, Connors. She can't hit the jumper. As Valesha Province brings it down again for the Big Red. Crumpy passes up on the three-pointer. Lindquist. The Big Red are trying so badly to get it into Holmes, as they finally do, and Holmes converts. And it might seem like an off night thus far for Jordan Holmes, but she's still got 6 points, and that's good enough to lead the team. And the Big Red extend their lead to double digits now as it's a 12-point lead. Shot was blocked, but there's going to be a foul called as Buddy pulled up for the jumper.
And one of the stats you just don't see in basketball is the fact that Jordan Holmes is just really locking down the inside of that paint in the interior. And it's just really tough for DePauw to get in there, and you won't see that on the stat besides watching the game. If they can get her ready on the offensive end and get her going, she'll have a great game again.
Shot by Buddy is good from the line. As Akilah Fletcher, Gabby Maringer, and Nia Gonzalez check back in for the Big Red, replacing Lindquist, Crumpy, and Arter. Second shot for Buddy is good. 10-point Big Red lead at 19-9 here. With 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Gonzalez swings it over to Fletcher, and she gives it back to Province, who is pestered heavily by Claire Ryan. Finally gets it back to Gonzalez. Out to a driving Maringer. Tough shot. It was blocked. Not a high percentage shot going in against 3 defenders. However, the shot clock was running down, so they were running out of options. And a foul's called there on the floor. It's really clear thus far that Melinda Frankie for DePauw is wanting to take those foul line jumpers, but Jordan Holmes is not only denying her the ball, but pushing her far out on the floor. So any inside game that she wants to go to thus far has just been completely cut off, as Kelly Arter is going to come back in, replacing Akilah Fletcher.
It'll be interesting to see how the Big Red come back on this next offensive possession after this next DePauw possession, with how aggressive that defense was. It was really hard to get anything going, even just to move the ball. So it'll be interesting here.
As Frankie sets the screen, trying to get Claire Ryan open, but it's to no avail. As once again, Holmes pushing Frankie out towards the foul line, looking to pass it. Ryan fakes the three, and Taylor Howard misses the shot. Rebound goes over to 23 Ryan. Tough shot, rejected by Jordan Holmes, but the ball remains with DePauw. And you can't leave a shooter like Emily Buddy open. She's going to hit that from the top of the key. 19-12 now for the Big Red. And that's just one of those possessions. You play great defense, but the ball lands in the hands of DePauw, and it's a great shooter, and she does what she does. As Maringer's drive is cut off on the right elbow, Arter goes baseline, but she's cut off. Nearly traveled, kicks it back out to Province. Tough drive down the lane, missed the shot. but a foul's going to be called, and she's going to earn a trip to the free throw line.
If this is your first game watching the Big Red, you would not know that Valesha Province is a freshman. She looks like she's been in her own out there, and she looks like a seasoned veteran.
She is one of the 2 Big Red freshmen averaging over 10 minutes a game, the other being Lucy Bancone. As Valesha Province's first shot from the line is good. Checking back in for the Big Red is number 5, Taylor Lindquist. And Erica Holmes also set to check in. And Maya Howard comes back in for DePauw, replacing Claire Ryan. Second shot, got another one for Province as Holmes checks back in for her after the 2 free throws. And as we alluded to, if the Big Red can't get the shots to go in, they can get themselves to the line, whereas they shoot 66% as a team. DePauw shooting even better as a team, about 71%. They haven't really been able to get much going at all. As Maya Howard kicks it back to Frankie, she's going to take another jumper from the elbow, and she commits the cardinal sin after missing the jumper, bumps Jordan Holmes, compounding her mistake right there, and it's going to go back over to the Big Red once again. And you've got to think at this point that the DePauw Tigers are very frustrated on offense.
Yeah, they're setting a lot of screens, especially at the top of the key, and it just seems like the guards by Denison are just able to get right under them and stick with it. It's just not working at this point. I mean, that is their offense. They're going to keep trying, obviously, but up till this point, it's been rough.
As Gabby Maringer misfires from the left wing, rebound comes down to Frankie for DePauw. Maya Howard looking to push up ahead. Denison going with a bit of a pack line defense except for the point guard, meaning that they're going to try to limit DePauw's three-point shooting. Probably ordered by Coach Sarah Lee after the 3 by Emily Buddy. As drive shot is good, plus the foul. Maya Howard with the and one. She's going to go to the line. And that was one of the best possessions DePauw's had thus far. They got a good ball screen at the top of the key. Howard had a tough drive, finished through the contact. As Emily Crumpy's going to come back in for Gabby Maringer, and Valesha Province is coming back in for Erica Holmes. Entering the game for DePauw is Jenna Stoner, and she's checking back in. As Howard looks to complete the three-point play. She does so. She now has 4 points on the night following the completed three-point play. As the trap by DePauw is escaped by Province. Pass dumped down to Crumpy. Fake, spins right. Tough shot off the glass. Rebound tipped around. Jordan Holmes couldn't control it. And here comes DePauw in transition. Here's the kick. Maya Howard from the corner. No good off the front iron. Jordan Holmes down with the rebound. Swing pass over the right wing. Kelly Arter, that's her spot. Yes, sirree. Kelly Arter for 3. And while DePauw has been getting back very well, they lost track of a great shooter in Kelly Arter. She trailed the play, and that's basically a layup for her with that much space. As Buddy drives down the lane, nearly traveled, but she's able to get a foul called. She'll go to the line for 2 shots. That foul's going to go against Kelly Arter. Free throw's good for Buddy. So even if DePauw isn't able to get too many field goals, as they are just 4 for 21 on the night, they're starting to knock down a few free throws, and when shooters like that can see the ball go in the net a little bit, it gets them confidence going for the rest of the game. Second shot off the back iron. Rebound right back to Buddy, though, and she pulls up from the right wing. No good. Battle for the rebound is won by Denison as Valesha Province is looking to push. Couldn't find anybody. She's going to get back to the top of the key, and Lindquist. Crumpy with the shot fake, and that's steps. She picked up her dribble and then went back down with it again. At times, it just seems like Denison's getting a little ahead of itself. When they score a couple baskets, they want a little more. And DePauw is playing great defense, and they're speeding up the game, and both teams just have not been able to get into a rhythm. Both teams are a combined 14 for 47 from the field, so a cold shooting night for both sides. As the double team is escaped by Morgan Skorda, she kicks it down to Taylor Howard, missed the shot, but she's fouled. And once again, DePauw is going to be going back to the free throw line.
And as I said before the game, DePauw does average about 11 points from the free throw line. So for them to get back up to the free throw line, even with this cold shooting night, is very important for them to stick around in this game. Even though neither team's been able to shoot well, DePauw is still only down 8 points because they've been at the line so much tonight.
And maybe a point of concern for Coach Sarah Lee of Denison is that Denison now has 4 players with 2 fouls. So some early foul trouble starting to haunt the Big Red. Luckily, Jordan Holmes has not committed one yet. She's played good, solid interior defense without fouling, something she's been known for throughout her career here. As the shot from the line is good by Howard.
And as you can see, as we haven't even mentioned yet, Jordan Holmes has quietly gotten herself 2 double-digit statistics in rebounds tonight with 10. So we'll see if she can add to that total throughout the night.
It's almost as if, as Howard hits the second free throw, that we expect Jordan Holmes to put up just ridiculous numbers on the board. She averages 17 rebounds per game. She's already got 10 tonight. She can get some points to go with it. It'll be a career night even by her standards. As the shot's no good, Crumpy couldn't save it. It's tapped out of bounds, and it's going to go back over to DePauw. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Kelly Arter checking back in for the Big Red. She replaces Naya Gonzalez.
Yeah, Jordan Holmes leading the team with 6 points, leading with 10 rebounds, and I believe also leading with 2 boards as well. She's having herself quite a night, and those are even small stats for a player of her caliber, which is pretty absurd to imagine.
And another stat to look at, Denison has 10 field goals made, but they also have 8 assists. They're sharing the ball really well. This is the team that loves to pass. They're very unselfish, even though they have such a dominant scorer down low in Holmes and a great shooter outside in Arter. As Province down the lane, her drive's cut off. Arter wants to go right baseline again. She's loved that drive all night. Back over to Province for 3, can't hit. Nearly stolen, bringing it down the floor. And Claire Ryan's going to pull it back out and set up the offense for the Tigers. Ball screen, and it's bobbled. However, Frankie pulls down the loose ball. 3 ball for Jenna Stoner won't go in, but another offensive rebound. And DePauw is going to get another chance as a fresh shot clock again. They got 24 to shoot. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Frankie's loved that shot all night. Finally gets one to go down.
And they're going to keep giving it to her. I mean, she showed that she just hit it there, and obviously she started off cold early in the night, but that's her shot. She likes that spot on the floor, and they're just going to keep giving it to her.
And as one of the players that gets the most playing time and an experienced player in Frankie, she knows what shots she can hit. She's going to keep taking them. She hasn't missed by much, and if she can get going, DePauw's got a great chance to get back in the game. As Crumpy's shot from the right baseline is short, rebounds down to Claire Ryan. 1:30 to go here in the first half. Denison holding just a 4-point lead now at 24-20. DePauw tried to make it 2, but Jordan Holmes said absolutely not. Another block shot for Jordan Holmes. You got to commend DePauw for going inside, but at some point you have to know when you're amongst the trees and Jordan Holmes, a shot like that's just not going to work out for you.
And that's the great thing about the Denison defense. It's so versatile. You can shut down the 3-point. If they try to go inside, you know Jordan Holmes is going to be waiting for that inside and just block. As we have another interior shot, another miss.
Ball's tapped around. That's going to go back to Denison as Taylor Howard couldn't hit the right elbow jumper. 4-point lead still for the Big Red. 1:15 remaining. Let's see if they try to play the 2-for-1 game and hold down the shot clock, or they just want to keep shooting away. As Gonzalez swings it around in the left wing to Province. Gets it back to Arter. Immediate dump down to Jordan Holmes. Right hand. Foul. And the shot drops. Jordan Holmes doing what she does best. Going over to her right shoulder. And that was the first time that she has really imposed her will on Frankie inside, in addition to her committing the foul. She's going to go to the line. She'll be at the line trying to get her 9th point of the night. And what has seemed like a quiet night on the offensive end, she has certainly got it done on the defensive end with 10 rebounds and 3 block shots to this point.
And already with 8 points going for her 9th. And there is her 9th. You can just see that, I mean, it's just hard to control a player of her caliber. And it's not for if you control her, but for how long you can control her until she just starts to pull away.
Pass out to Claire Ryan. Dump down. And the shot is good for Taylor Howard. She's been one of the most aggressive DePauw players. It hasn't really showed yet with just six points on the night. But she's going to keep shooting her shots as the pass is tipped away, but Gonzalez recovers. We got 35 seconds to go in the first half. Big Red looking to pad their lead. It's 5 currently at 27-22. That's a held ball, and that's going to go back over to DePauw. That's great defense by Claire Ryan. Great job getting her hands on the basketball without fouling. Earns her team another possession.
And now with just 30.7 seconds left and the 30-second shot clock, DePauw can pretty much hold this until the last shot. We'll see what they do here on this offensive possession.
It would seem that they elect to do so as their entire team outside of Ryan is going to pack the baseline. It's just a 5-point lead for Denison. Both teams starting to get in a little bit more of a rhythm here in the second quarter. And DePauw would really like to see another shot go in before the half and make it a one-possession game. As we got 8 seconds to go on the game clock, Ryan on the drive. Taylor Howard pulls up, can't hit, short, and that's going to be the end of the first half. Described as sloppy, slow first quarter, picked up by a much more Denison and DePauw-esque second quarter. Both teams getting aggressive, taking the shots they want. Kelly Arter saw one go in. Jordan Holmes leading the way for the Big Red with 10 rebounds and 8 points to this point. Leads the team. Leading the Tigers so far is Emily Buddy, and as alluded to before the game, Nick, you were right on it. She's got 10 points, nearly half the scoring for DePauw thus far, and her team is just 6 for 28 from the field, but she's shooting a solid 3 of 7. So how much do you think they're going to look to go to her in the second half? They're
going to look to go to her a lot. Obviously, she's proved that she can do it. 3 for 7 is the best shooting percentage that you're looking for, but she's the one that's scoring the most points. They're going to keep going through her. The other statistic you have to look at is they are 69.2% from the free throw line. They love their free throws. They're going to keep trying to get up there, go for the 2-for-1s, and just see if they can go through traffic without getting blocked and try to get to the line.
And an interesting thing, like you just said, is going to be that Denison is in a bit of foul trouble. However, it's mainly perimeter players with 2 fouls that have been going for steals. It'll be interesting to see if the DePauw Tigers want to try to get Jordan Holmes into foul trouble, or they're going to back off and try to get their shooters involved. As we saw Emily Buddy knock down a 3 in the latter part of the second quarter. It's going to be really important for DePauw just to keep their hands on the basketball. They had several turnovers in the first quarter, but Denison could not capitalize. They committed a few themselves. And both teams really, it seemed like they took a deep breath at the end of the first quarter. They got their legs under them. These are two great teams in this conference. They're both competing for what is first place in the conference tonight. And I'm sure both coaches have got to be somewhat pleased. It's a 5-point game. DePauw is only down 5 on the road. They've got to be feeling good about that against a team with an 8-game winning streak. Sarah Lee's got to be happy because Jordan Holmes is doing her thing inside with great numbers. They're spreading the ball around. What's the most important thing, Nick, in the second half for Denison to keep this lead?
The thing that Denison has to do is, and they proved it early, is they have to move the ball. Early on, they were moving the ball, sharing it great. And when they were doing that, it was hard for the DePauw defense to keep up, and they were able to get a lot of those interior shots to fall. Once they started getting a little excited, I think the nerves started to get on them a little bit. They started to hold the ball, make a little bit of sloppy passes, and that's where they started to fluster and falter a little bit. For Denison to come back out and have a better second half, not that the first was bad to say, but they're really going to need to move the ball a lot and make that DePauw defense work.
We're going to take a break, folks, for halftime. We'll come back with more stats and analysis from the first half. I'm Will Hibbard alongside Nick Morton. You're listening and watching to the Denison Sports Network. Fans, welcome back to the start of the second half in a tightly contested matchup between the Denison Big Red and the DePauw Tigers. The score is currently 27-22 in favor of the Big Red. A little bit of stats for you at halftime. Leading the scoring for Denison, probably to nobody's surprise, is Jordan Holmes. She's got 9 points and 10 rebounds to her credit at halftime. Additionally, for the Big Red, Valesha Province has 5 points, Emily Crumpy has 4, Kelly Arter 3, and Taylor Lindquist 2. And one would think that 27 points is going to be a low-scoring game for the Big Red, but in a dogfight like this, two great teams, this one's going to go down to the wire, and I don't expect too much scoring in the second half. What are the stats looking like for the DePauw Tigers, Nick Morton?
Well, on the other side here with DePauw, you have Emily Buddy leading the DePauw Tigers with 10 points, and then closely behind with Taylor Howard with 6. the biggest thing with DePauw has been they're 6 for 29 on field goal percentage for a lowly 20.7%, which is just not anything that you want to come out in the first half, especially on the road with. Free throw wise, they're shooting 69%, which is exactly where they want to be at. A little bit higher would be nice, but 9 of their points have come from the line.
And that was the story of the first half. DePauw, although they shot very poorly from the floor, they were able to get to the line, hit 9 free throws. And it's a 2-possession game right now, and Denison's going to have to scrap this one out at home. As Holmes on the right wing dumps it down to Emily Crumpy. She's cut off underneath the basket. Risky bounce pass out to Arter. She's going to have to pull up. Shot is short, and rebound falls to DePauw's number 24, Colleen Connors. She'll bring it up for DePauw's first possession of the second half. Taylor Howard, bounce pass down to Emily Buddy, and the leading scorer for the Tigers does it again. She hits from the right baseline, and the Denison lead is down to 3 at 27-24. Lindquist looking for Arter, passes it up over to the left wing. Holmes, Crumpy wants the ball. They feed it to her. Spins over right shoulder on the low block. Shot off the glass. Emily Crumpy is one of the most versatile players in this program. She has shots over left and right shoulder. She can hit the 18-foot jumper. She can even step out and hit some threes. She's provided a great spark for the Big Red. As Buddy into the lane again. And as we said in the first half, Nick, they're going to want to go to her. They do just that 2 straight times to open this half.
And interesting because that's back-to-back possessions where they're going pretty much straight near Jordan Holmes in the middle of the paint. And both times on the interior it has worked. So we'll have to see what adjustments Denison makes here pretty soon. And
perhaps they're trying to get Jordan Holmes into some foul trouble. Perhaps that's just the spot Buddy's comfortable with. Either way, DePauw comes away with 4 quick points as the shot is missed by Denison on the other end. Down come the Tigers. Jenna Stoner on the right wing. She's going to drive, and the foul is going to be called on the floor before the shot as Buddy was trying to grab her 3rd straight field goal to start the half. And that foul is going to go against Taylor Lindquist. That's her 2nd. And another near line change for the Big Red. Coming back in is Akilah Fletcher, Gabby Maringer, Valesha Province, and Gabby Nottage. As the ball sent in, Buddy with the ball in her hands once again. Great pass down low. Nobody accounted for Stoner, and the backdoor cut ends up in a basket. Lead down to 1 for the Big Red, 29-28. Here with just under 8 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Fletcher swings it back over to Province. Denison not taking many dribbles on the perimeter. They're just mostly limited to standstill passing, and it burns them there as the pass to Jordan Holmes is deflected, and down comes DePauw again. Buddy's looking to keep the scoring going. Shot over Holmes, and that's just a tough shot over the shot blocker looming over. Shot was short. However, Buddy remains aggressive here to start the second half. As Maringer, great pass down to Jordan Holmes. She's never going to miss that shot. She got around the defender on the hip, and she's going to hit that shot every single time with a pass like that. And the Big Red, once again, have a 3-point lead. Shot from the perimeter as Buddy nails it. She is coming out hot in the second half, and we are knotted up at 31.
This game could soon become a battle of superstars between these two teams and Buddy and Jordan Holmes. And we're going to have to see which one steps up and if the supporting cast can really get something going to, have one team pull away here.
Speaking of supporting cast, Valesha Province got them all from 3 on the right wing. She has provided great spark off the bench here for the Big Red. Gives her team a 3-point lead. Jenna Stoner looking to counter. Swings back over. Buddy's going to fire again. This time she's short. And the rebound falls down to Gabby Maringer, who corrals it off the pass from Province. Nottage nearly traveled, but gets over to Fletcher. Back to Nottage. Province, dishing it over to Maringer. Jordan Holmes with the unselfish kick to Akilah Fletcher. And she was fouled before the shot attempt on the move to the basket. And that's going to go against Colleen Connors for DePauw. That is her first violation of this evening. As Maringer is going to take it out under the basket. Pass down to Holmes. So she's going to look to go straight to the rim. Once again, off the glass for Jordan Holmes with the left hand. Jordan Holmes now with 13 points on the night. Quickly approaching her season average of 15. And it certainly appears she's going to go well over that tonight. As the shot is blocked in the lane. Taylor Howard for DePauw took the shot from the free throw line. It was blocked. However, it careens out of bounds, and it's going to stay with DePauw. 15 to shoot. Ball's going to be taken out by Connors. As Buddy's got the ball in her hands once again, she's going to dish it over to Taylor Howard. Shot from the left elbow is missed by number 42, Abby Keller. And Nottage is going to look to dump it down to Lindquist. As a turnover is forced by DePauw. An interesting thing there, DePauw showed a little wrinkle. They threw a double team at Jordan Holmes. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to do that every possession, considering the amount that the Big Reds shoot. DePauw is likely going to have to mix up his looks because Denison, with as many points as they score per game, they will figure something out if they do it for too long.
Especially with a freshman guard in with Valesha Province, and that's off board for Holmes. But with Valesha Province, you're going to have to see what happens if they throw a double team down in the middle and see what she can do, since she does not have that much experience.
Nottage still running the point. She's been crisp on her passes tonight. Pass over to Keela Fletcher, pulls up from the baseline. That shot's short off the iron. Rebound down to DePauw, and Connors is going to bring it up left to right. Buddy's got the ball in her hands. It seems already Buddy is holding the ball at some point in every possession. Surely DePauw is going to have to do that. As they have already gotten back in the game, but to get over the hump and take the lead, they're going to have to keep doing it. Fletcher deflects the pass. Great defense. Free ball on the floor. It's recovered by Denison and number 3, Valesha Province. However, DePauw has numbers on defense, so Province will set up the offense. Maringer back to Fletcher on the baseline. She'll pass up that shot this time. Left wing pass over, and that's going to be an offensive foul against the Big Red. And that's going to go against number 11, Nottage, on an illegal screen. As for the Big Red, checking into the game is number 34, Emily Crumpy, number 5, Taylor Lindquist, and number 22, Nia Gonzalez. And additionally, number 10, Erica Holmes, is going to come in for Nottage, who just committed her foul. And that is going to be the second foul on Gabby Nottage. So another Big Red player with 2 fouls. Coach Sarah Lee is going to really have to work to manage that foul trouble as Gonzalez comes away with the steal, but it's stolen right back from her by Claire Ryan. Ryan doesn't like the odds in transition, so she's going to set up her offense. Taylor Howard kicks it back over.
It's interesting to see who DePauw is going to lean on right now with Emily Buddy on the bench and see who they're going to point to at this point. A bit of a sloppy offensive possession right there, actually 2 with the steal beforehand. So we're going to have to see what they go with. And with Buddy not even sitting on the bench, merely standing, I'm sure this is going to be a quick breath for her as they need her in the game. As Crumpy hits the mid-range jumper, she's continuing a very solid night. Emily Crumpy now with 8 points for the Big Red. As the Big Red have now extended the lead back to 7. It's 38-31 here. 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Stoner kicks it down to the left elbow, and Howard back to Stoner. Claire Ryan swings it back over, and Stoner wants to take it from the left wing off the mark. Offensive rebound for DePauw. They're going to get a fresh shot clock. 3 from the corner. That's off the mark. Taylor Lindquist grabs the missed shot out of the hands of Morgan Scortis. The Big Red look to extend this lead again. It's going to be especially important with Buddy on the bench to get as many points out of the lead if they can. As tough drive down the lane for Erica Holmes. Shot was deflected. Corrals her own miss. Down the lane is Lindquist. Right-handed scoop off the glass. Good for Taylor Lindquist. It's a 9-point Big Red lead. Let's see what the DePauw offense can do here. And there's the timeout. They look pretty confused out there without Buddy, and it looks like they're going to need to get her back in before this lead gets more out of hand for DePauw.
Coach Chris Huffman wisely calls the timeout. It's still a 9-point game. However, the momentum is clearly back with the Big Red, and they want to stop play before anything gets too crazy. In addition, with Buddy on the bench, this gives her more time to rest. Surely she's going to come back in after this timeout, as 2 DePauw players are already set to check in. With Buddy out of the game, this really is danger time for the Tigers. She might have requested to come out. Who knows? Maybe it's part of the game plan to have her ready for the entire fourth quarter. but she was hot, and as soon as she came out of the game, the script was completely flipped, and Denison has completely taken advantage.
And I think Denison knows that, knowing when they can get those shots and get those shots early and easy, they're going to keep doing it and take advantage when their superstars are out. And it looks like Buddy is not coming back in this time.
Instead, for the Tigers, it's going to be Howard, Taylor Howard, Maya Howard, Skordis, Melinda Frankie, and Colleen Connors, and the Big Red counter with Lindquist, Maringer, Holmes, Erica Holmes, that is, Emily Crumpy, and of course Jordan Holmes at the post.
And we'll see if the Big Red can continue to dominate here in the court without Buddy.
As DePauw desperately needs a basket, down 9 with the Big Red with this much momentum. Drive down the lane, that's cut off by Maringer. Maya Howard handling the ball. Swings it back over to Taylor Howard. Howard down the lane. Tough shot. Can't get it to fall with the shot clock winding down. Loose ball. Tapped around, and Maringer secures it for the Big Red.
That's as much phenomenal defense as it is anything else.
Taylor Lindquist, not shy, pulls up for 3, just short. Rebound comes down to Maya Howard, and she's going to try to push. That's another thing tonight. The Big Red have really limited DePauw's chances in transition, as the entry pass was to no one and was corralled by Lindquist, and that's another DePauw turnover. And wouldn't you know it, Emily Buddy's coming right back in the game, as are Kelly Arter and Valesha Province for the Big Red, as Crumpy fakes the shot. Swing back over to Taylor Lindquist. Holmes down low. Back to Erica Holmes. Her 3 is off the mark, and that's going to go back over to DePauw. With 1:30 here left in the third quarter. Checking back in for the Big Red is Valesha Province for Erica Holmes and Kelly Arter for Taylor Lindquist. Emily Buddy is right back into the game for DePauw.
And while that possession didn't come out how the Big Red wanted it, the way they moved that ball definitely is going to take its toll on the DePauw defense and essentially the DePauw offense, as they're going to slowly tire out here. And as we approach the fourth quarter with a little bit over 1 minute left in the third, it's going to be tough, and it's going to be a dogfight here at the end.
And I think Coach Sarah Lee knew it coming out of the last possession, as a 3 is no good for DePauw, that Erica Holmes is not a prolific shooter for the Big Red. However, there was nothing else open. She had to take the shot and couldn't hit it. As Maringer down in the left wing, her drive's cut off. That's good defense, active hands by Maya Howard. Kelly Arter has hit her only 3 of the night, but she's been relatively quiet. She's been denied the ball. Holmes, tough shot, gets her own rebound and 2 more points. Jordan Holmes continues to pad the stats, as the Big Red are now up by 11. Shot was nearly blocked by Jordan Holmes, but a good strong drive by Maya Howard, and she scores to stop the bleeding for DePauw, and it's now a 9-point Big Red lead. Nonetheless, the Big Red are going to stay aggressive. All their players in the second half are coming out and taking the right shots, with the exception of a few possessions ago. They've been taking high-quality shots, as Province for 3, bullseye, and the Big Red have now opened up a 12-point lead. 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. DePauw is looking to push, as the Big Red have opened one of its largest leads of the night. Final shot's going to have to be put up by Connors, and it's no good. So Coach Sarah Lee has got to be extremely pleased with that. Big Red came out and outscored DePauw by a score of 18-11 there in the third quarter. Lead this game 45-33. I'm Will Hibbard alongside Nick Morton. We'll be right back for the fourth quarter. You are watching the Denison Sports Network. Welcome back, basketball fans. I'm Will Hibbard alongside Nick Morton. We're here to bring you the fourth quarter of this NCAC matchup between the Denison Big Red and the DePauw Tigers. A very tightly contested game up until about the midway point in the third quarter, where Denison really pulled away. They've opened up a 12-point lead, a big headline in that quarter. DePauw star Emily Buddy on the bench for most of the quarter, and the Big Red took advantage. And they'll take advantage of the possession right now as they get the steal. Great defense on the steal by Province. And she's looking to run the offense here. Spins to the left. Akila Fletcher passes up the shot with the right hand, scores it. And it really is danger time at this point for the Tigers. It's only a matter of time before Buddy's going to have the ball in her hands often.
That's going to open up Denison's biggest lead of the night with 14. Actually, biggest lead by either team tonight.
is Claire Ryan running the offense for DePauw. Swings pass over on the right baseline. Nice shot there by number 42, Abby Keller. She drills it. And here's a critical possession for DePauw. Denison has gotten to a groove. They scored on many of their late possessions. And right there, they get the turnover. As Ryan's looking to push ahead, Province on the defense, and the layup is good. And that's going to cut the lead to 10. And that's immediately going to get Nottage off the bench. Going to come to the game for the Big Red.
For DePauw, you can't ask for a better start there with 4 quick points.
And that's going to be a kicked ball. That's going to remain with the Big Red. As Gabby Nottage checks in for Valesha Province. Checking back in for DePauw is number 11, Jenna Stoner. She comes in for number 23, Claire Ryan. Pass in to Gabby Nottage. Drive down the lane, pulls up from 8 feet, gets the bounce. Gabby Nottage, who's been very unselfish all night, gets her first bucket. She's got 3 assists to go along with that. She's been a good facilitator thus far tonight and gets her first 2 points to open up a 12-point lead. As Buddy swings it over in the left wing, Stoner passes it up. Connors back to Buddy. She drives. Stop and pop in the lane. That's good for Buddy. Her 18th and 19th points of the night. She has over half the points for DePauw, and that story is not going to be changed in the fourth quarter. She's going to have to score baskets quickly to get them back into this one. However, we still have 8 minutes to go, and it's a 10-point lead, so surely anything can happen. As Arter drives down the lane, that's cut off, and that's going to be a travel. It appeared as if she bobbled the ball, but obviously what the ref says counts. So that's going to go back over to DePauw.
Key possession here for DePauw, down by 10. See if they can get the lead back down to single digits and see what they can do here.
Fletcher with active hands forces the steal, but it's kept alive by 35, Melinda Frankie. But that steal is completed by Jordan Holmes. Down the lane, layup is good. Folks, she can do it all. She can score, she can rebound, she can block. She'll get out on the floor, and she'll make you pay with a steal. And she'll run down and score it again on you. Jordan Holmes with her 16th and 17th points of the evening. As Connor's working on the right wing against Arter, fakes the shot. Over to Stoner. They kick it down to Keller. She's going to pull up. Shot won't go. Fight for the rebound is won by Melinda Frankie. Kicks it out, and that's not what Denison wants. Buddy with an open 3, but she couldn't hit. Taylor Lindquist down with a tough rebound. And Denison's got it with just under 7 minutes to go here with a 12-point lead. Nottage looking to facilitate again. Arter running off the screen. That was cut off. Jordan Holmes with a nice pass from Arter. Couldn't hit the shot, but she's fouled. She's going to go to the line. Preparing to check back in for the Big Red are Nadia Gonzalez, Gabby Maringer, and Emily Crumpy. At the line is Jordan Holmes, who on the season just a 57% shooter. But makes it look easy right there as she hits the free throw. As the Big Red players check back in. Checking in for DePauw is number 21, Maya Howard. And soon to checking in now is number 34, Taylor Howard.
Key with Emily Buddy still being in the game, seeing if she can get something going on offense and try to stop this run by Denison. And see if DePauw can get back in this game, only down by 13 at this point, pending the free throw.
It'll be interesting to see that the strategy, as Jordan Holmes hits the second free throw, there are really 2 strategies to play when there's a star player. You can let the star get theirs and score as many points as they want and limit the supporting cast, or vice versa. It seems like the Big Red are trying to limit the other 4 players and let Buddy take her shots. It seems to have certainly worked thus far with a 14-point lead, 6.5 to go. As the drive down the lane, and the shot is up and good by number 32, Emily Buddy. She is going to continue to hit those shots as she makes her 8th field goal of the night. As a blocking foul is called, as Nia Gonzalez is trying to work the baseline. That's going to be against Jenna Stoner.
And both DePauw and Denison are going to have to be careful with fouls here near the end, especially DePauw looking at the 12-point deficit and talking about field goals later on. I know that's still time to come with about 6 minutes left in the game, but just something to be aware of.
Maringer trying to feed the ball inside. They can't do it, so Gonzalez is going to try from the right wing. No pass to Crumpy on the right baseline. They get it back to Maringer. Drives to the left. That's cut off. Holmes, they're hounding her too. DePauw with great team defense. However, still 10 to shoot. Crumpy works her way down. Nice ball fake off the glass. Emily Crumpy continues to make her baskets inside. And with the duo of her and Holmes going at one time, DePauw has had little answer here in the second half. As Maya Howard, her drive's cut off down the lane. She's going to kick it back out. Shot was blocked by Holmes, but a foul is called. As Taylor Howard had the strong drive down the lane.
Denison once again tying its largest lead of the night with 14 with 5 minutes and 36 seconds left to go. We'll see what they can do down here down the stretch. Hopefully just move the ball around, take up a lot of that clock, and see what we can do.
As Taylor Howard hits the free throw, if anything else, DePauw's going to have to convert at the line. They did a good job of that in the first half, 9 of 13, now make it 10 for 14 from the game. And she hits the second, 12-point Big Red lead. Checking back in for Denison is number 2, Kelly Arter, number 5, Taylor Lindquist. So the Big Red trying to get a little bit more shooting out on the floor. And this seems to be a good lineup right now for the Big Red because Crumpy and Holmes have had such a great game inside. They've got Arter and Lindquist, who are neither of which who are afraid to shoot the three. As Crumpy on the ball fake, swings it back out top of the key. Lindquist going to dump it down to Holmes. Holmes, right hand, you betcha. Jordan Holmes continues her great night with another basket in the post.
That's going to put her over 20 for the night.
As the shot is no good off the back iron. Offensive rebound by Taylor Howard. As Maya Howard goes down the lane, ball fakes, shot. Tough shot, gets it to go. Kelly Arter was not fooled by the ball fake, but Howard got it up just in time. Hits it, 57-45 Denison. As Nottage thought she was fouled, but clean steal, no call. Back down the floor, no call there as well, but Howard is there to corral it. Stoner passes up the straight-on three. As Maya Howard goes down the lane, fakes from the right elbow. Buddy trying to come over asking for the ball, but they haven't gotten it to her just yet. As Howard looks to go to work on Nottage, drives down the lane, tries the ball fake. And that's going to be a foul against number 34, Emily Crumpy. She tried to come in and get the held ball, but only had one hand on it, didn't have position, commits the foul. As Akila Fletcher and Valesha Province checked back in for Denison, replacing Gabby Nottage and Emily Crumpy.
Every possession here for the Paws is going to start to count, especially this one. We're going to have to see what they can do with this.
As Buddy steps back, shot in the air for three was no good. Holmes down with yet another rebound. That's her 14th of the night. As Lindquist drives by Buddy, but a foul was on the floor before the shot attempt. Checking back in for DePauw's number 23, Claire Ryan. She's going to replace Jenna Stoner. Previous whistle was on DePauw's Melinda Frankie. That's going to be her fourth foul of the night, and she'll take a seat.
It's going to be interesting to see who's going to guard Jordan Holmes down in the paint now with Melinda Frankie on the bench.
She had done a great job thus far tonight. You're absolutely right. They're going to have to find an answer quickly. Arter, strong drive. Shot was stripped. Down comes Buddy. Floater's no good. Gets her own miss, and she's fouled. And that's going to be a non-shooting foul, so DePauw's going to take it out. That foul's going to go against Valesha Province. That's her first. Taking it out for the Tigers. Maya Howard. Keller's jumper is blocked in the lane. Province loses it, gets it back. She's going to bring it up the floor. Hounded by Claire Ryan. Gets another steal, once again recovered by Holmes. Claire Ryan with active hands, really trying to get her team as many possessions as they can. As Arter, guarded tightly by Howard on the left wing. She's going to drive down to the elbow. She's going to back it out. Great pass down low to Lindquist. Couldn't get it to fall. As DePauw's going to have to move quickly, down 12 with 3 minutes to go. Ryan passes up the shot over to Keller. Can't hit. Arter down with a rebound. That's Kelly Arter's first rebound of the night. And a timeout is called by Denison Sarah Lee.
It's a great timeout there by Coach Sarah Lee just to get everybody calmed down. With 3 minutes left and 12-point lead, I'm sure the nerves are starting to get up. Everybody's getting a little excited. Just need to calm everybody down, make sure they know that this game is not over, and they need to keep playing strong basketball like they have all night.
The key for Denison now is to play great defense. Force DePauw to use the majority, if not all, the shot clock. And for Denison, on offense, there's really not much they need to change thus far. They've had great inside play from Jordan Holmes, Emily Crumpy. The guards have done a great job swinging the ball around, have kept the eyes moving. DePauw has been a little lax with their feet, and it's led to some layups for Denison. This is going to be a quick timeout, just a 30-second.
And as Denison's been guarding the interior so phenomenally tonight, they're going to have to watch the shots from outside the three-point line as DePauw is down by 12. Just going to have to make sure that they watch those. You can't give any girl in college basketball a wide-open three-pointer, or else they're going to make you pay for it.
And especially not DePauw's Emily Buddy. She's had a couple of those tonight, has only been able to hit one. As Nottage, let's see if the Big Red try to work some clock, or they're just going to keep right on rolling on offense. They got 16 to shoot. Maringer on the right wing, looking to feed Arter. She's going to pull it back out at the top of the key. Nottage with the ball once again. They're going to have to make something happen here. Maringer's cutting. Shot was blocked. Buddy with the block. She's going to take this whole possession into her hands. She's going to come down the lane. Layup is good. Lead down to 10. 2:30 to go and counting.
If you're Denison, you just want to make sure you get a shot off, a clean one, probably near the end of the shot clock just to be safe, but try to make as much as it count and hope for an offensive board to have another 30 seconds.
It seems that Denison is going to run their offense with about 10 seconds to go on the clock. Arter says, never mind, I'll take the shot now. I can shoot. So she hits that one. Denison's leads back up to 7. 2 minutes to go. DePauw's really going to have to hurry now. As Ryan takes the quick pop from just inside the line. That's off the back iron. Howard wins the battle over Fletcher in the lane. Ryan's got it right back. She's going to feed it down to Keller. Keller back to Ryan. Buddy's just waiting in the corner maybe for a pass. Keller misses on the elbow jumper once again. Nottage down with the rebound. 1:45 to go. But that's not what they wanted. DePauw's got a run out, and Howard's going to dump it down to Ryan. Her layup is off the mark.
Phenomenal transitions defense there. Just excellent transition. You can't draw up better than that.
Maringer thought about taking it. Arter's three-point attempt is blocked. That's good defense by Buddy. You would think in this scenario, with a 12-point lead, Denison's trying to run clock, but it seems like they just want to put this game away right now, trying to jack up as many shots as they can. And I don't mean that in a negative way, because these are obviously girls that can shoot, and they've been doing it all night. But it just seems like they're trying to put this game away before fouls have to come into play.
And not only that, I mean, are they looking at this as maybe a confidence builder? If they do come out with a victory here, this would be their 9th in a row going into the end of the season. Could just be trying to get as many girls to shoot and as many different points and just see if they can build off this and continue this streak that's been unreal.
And we know the game's not over yet, but if the Big Red hang on for this win, this will put them in first place outright in the North Coast Athletic Conference with a 5-1 mark. 9 straight wins. You've got to think at this point that Denison's going to start getting some serious national attention. We already know Jordan Holmes has been, with twice this year being D3Hoops.com's National Player of the Week. And she made a great case to get it again tonight. She's got 21 points and 14 rebounds. 6 points beyond her season average. If she wants to get her average in rebounds, she's still going to pick up. She's still got 3 boards to pick up, but I'm sure that's in her plans. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, Emily Buddy, fantastic game with 23 points on 9 of 19 from the floor. However, her team as a whole, just 17 of 60 from the floor. 28% shooting is not going to get it done on the road against a team with 8 straight wins.
And you have to give credit to Emily Buddy and the rest of her teammates. They came in against a really tough Denison team, and this is not saying the game's over at all. But just, 28% from the field just isn't great, but Emily Buddy's been keeping them in this game. And they're still in it with about 1:23 left.
And that's certainly her role as the star player. She's done all she can. They need to stop quickly and desperately, do the Tigers, as Maringer is going to continue. And they do get the steal as Howard comes away with it. as Maya Howard is going to look for a quick bucket. She's going to swing it out to Clara Ryan for 3. Off the mark. Jordan Holmes, there's her 15th rebound of the night. And Valesha Province brings it up for Denison. DePauw trying to run the trap with Buddy, but they escape it. Maringer breaks the pressure from Clara Ryan. And Taylor Lindquist swings it back over to Province. DePauw really pressing, trying to get the steal, but they were a little bit too aggressive that time as the foul is committed. And this is going to go against Maya Howard, and that's going to be her first of the night.
With 48.8 seconds left in this game, Denison just has to stay calm, hold on. Don't want to get too sloppy here and give up some easy points where fouls could end up haunting you in the end here.
And surely Coach Lee from the sideline, hands on the ball. Denison, while they do have a comfortable 12-point lead, they've had a couple sloppy turnovers that they don't want to commit, don't want to give DePauw any life, especially considering they can shoot the ball. With 48.8 seconds to go and a 12-point lead, Denison has all but wrapped up this one after this possession. As Arter swings it over to Maringer, they will have to shoot the ball with 37 seconds on the game clock and 18 on the shot clock. As the crowd's starting to feel it here at Livingston Gymnasium, and looks like the Big Red are going to get their 9th straight win. 5 to shoot. Province going to have to put something up. Tough shot with the right hand, wouldn't go. Gets her own rebound, and that's just the story of Province night. She has been high energy, 13 points on the night to go with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. She and Taylor Lindquist have provided great energy. She continues her night even though the game is all but decided with 15 seconds to go.
And as I said earlier, it's crazy to think that Province is a freshman walking in here, coming off the bench as a freshman in a big game like this. It's really tough for anybody, any year, any talent, any experience, but for her to come in is just huge. And that shows a lot of her teammates and Coach Sarah Lee that she's here to win and she's here to help the team out.
And Nick, if you're Coach Chris Huffman of DePauw, what's the message you give your team after this game? Obviously your star player has a great night. What else do you need to tell your team in order to bounce back from this win?
You know, they came in on the road. They came into an environment that, is high energy. Denison shot the ball pretty well, just under 50%. They played against one of the best players in the country in Jordan Holmes. And it's just a tough environment to come in and a tough team that's currently riding an 8 and now 9-game win streak. And you can't expect to win them all, especially against a team of this caliber. So you have to get back on that bus, go home, reevaluate, and come back out again.
And the Denison Big Red basketball program, men's and women's, is 11 seconds away from a doubleheader sweep over the DePauw Tigers. This is a great thing to see out of Denison. DePauw is normally a very competitive team. Not to say they're not this year, but this just speaks to how Denison has really elevated its game, both on the men's and women's sides. The women's winning 9 straight games. The men putting up a very, very solid showing in NCAC play. Coach Bob Gallone's got to be really happy with that. It's a great time to be to be a fan or player of Denison basketball, and there just doesn't seem to be any sign that they're going to slow down right now, these Denison women.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. I mean, over these last 8 games, and even before that all season, it's been just a great resurgence of Denison women's basketball. And to see this game tonight and the confidence they showed, even when they had to face some adversity, with how DePauw came out in the second half, and they were pretty quickly tied at 31. Just to come able to come back and have the lead they have right now is huge.
And Maringer passes over to Holmes. She will run out the clock. Final score, Denison 61, DePauw 49. Now, I know we're not sponsored to do such, but tonight's player of the game's got to be Jordan Holmes.
It has to be.
Once again, 21 points, 15 rebounds, perfect from the line. Just 1 foul committed with great defense on the post players of DePauw. Another great thing to point out from tonight, the young players of Denison in a very tough game against a tough DePauw team. This is a great gut check. Most notably, Valesha Province with 13 points. 13 points and 4 rebounds. 4 of 8 from the floor. We saw the game was all but decided, but she was hustling after rebounds. She put up the shot. She added to her totals. Coach Sarah Lee has got to be feeling great about this game. And the Denison Big Red women have tallied up their 9th straight win and have taken an outright lead in the North Coast Athletic Conference West Division with a 5-1 conference mark.
It's been huge. I mean, just the hustle all night by Denison Big Red. Whether you're a freshman, a senior, star player, or role player, they were all just hustling. You could see they wanted to win this game. They were on the floor. They were going after boards. It was just a great performance, a gut check, and a great way to get the ninth straight win here.
And excuse that previous remark. There's a 9-1 start for the Denison women's program. Even more so, speaking to their great season. These are exciting times for Denison women's basketball. 9 straight wins. Jordan Holmes has got to be a candidate for National Player of the Year. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks at this point. Her stats have spoken for themselves. Blocking shots, getting rebounds, scoring left and right. We saw her get some steals tonight. The Big Reds seem to be clicking at the right time. It would be great to see them carry this into the conference and hopefully national tournament as well.
Yeah, it'd be excellent. I mean, Jordan Holmes, just, another great night. It's almost like we're expecting it at this point, so it's not even big news to us. But just for her to be this consistent and for her teammates to be this consistent is just huge for Denison Big Red basketball. I mean, it's a great day to be part of that, be a fan, just be part of Denison University as a whole.
Well, folks, that's going to do it tonight from Livingston Gymnasium. Final score once again, Denison 61, DePauw 49. I'm Will Hibbard alongside my partner Nick Morton. You're watching the Denison Sports Network. Have a great night.